This is an S-rank throwing knife that everyone dislikes. But I treasure it like a gem. Because of its unique attribute that increases critical hit rate, it perfectly complements the gambler class. With it, I will be invincible. In this world, the rich can buy the strongest class. They rise to the top, reaching the peak of their lives, while the poor can only afford the weakest class. They live their humble lives in misery. And I am one of those poor souls. To gather enough materials for a low-level promotion to the Ghost Star class. My sister works 8 jobs every day for a wealthy family. Even when harassed, she grits her teeth and endures. My brother, even though gravely ill, works tirelessly. His health is deteriorating and he might collapse at any moment. And here I am, cowering behind a large rock, trembling with fear. There's a rumor that if you survive for 5 minutes on the Ghost Star, you'll automatically complete your class promotion. But this creature is so powerful. How could it possibly be defeated by a mere human? I watched as the little girl who was just hiding beside me a second ago was crushed into a bloody pulp by the Beastman. I knew I couldn't just sit here and wait to die. Rather than waiting for death like this, I'd rather take a gamble. With this thought, I dashed toward the cliff. Even though my shoulder was pierced, I didn't care, because I was betting on the only chance to survive. Just before the Beastman caught up to me, I leapt off the cliff. At the same time, a system message rang in my ears. Your actions align perfectly with the gambler class. Congratulations, you have awakened the hidden class. Gambler. At the bottom of the cliff, I slowly opened my eyes. To my surprise, I wasn't dead. In fact, even my previous injuries had miraculously healed. Just as I was about to get up and assess the situation, the space in front of me suddenly split open. A young girl in light clothing stepped out. She was the AI from the Ghost Star. Congratulations, you have successfully transferred to the hidden class gambler. You have gained the talent double. All system rewards or punishments will now have double the effect. And there is a 1% chance to trigger super double, which multiplies rewards or punishments by 10. Talent. Super critical hit. Your critical damage has increased by 200 times. The initial probability is 1%. Hearing this, I was overjoyed. For regular people, leveling up adds 10 points to their attributes. But with the double talent, I get 20 points instead. Doesn't that mean every level up is like leveling up twice as fast as others? And then there's this super critical hit. It's practically a miracle that can turn the tide in a crisis. I am required to reach St. Light City within 7 days to complete the beginner mission. I pick up the weapon dropped by the Beastman. Then I set my gaze firmly on the distance. Brother and sister, wait for me. This time I won't let you down. Turns out 50 years ago, a massive celestial body called the Ghost Star suddenly appeared. Strangely, people could only see its outline, but no technology could detect its existence. Until one day later in the year, the nightmare began. Most plants and animals suddenly mutated, evolving into monsters called beast gods. Even with RWQ, humans couldn't harm them. In the midst of despair, survivors unexpectedly discovered many teleportation portals on Blue Star. As long as their physical bodies entered, they would be transformed into digital forms and teleported to the Ghost Star. It seemed like a dreamland that never ended. Humans could not only change professions, but could also gain equipment, skills, and powerful attributes, just like characters in a game. And as long as you reach a certain level, you can bring this surreal power back to Blue Star for use. This way you can fight the beast gods with your physical strength. At that moment, the era of mass class promotions on Ghost Star officially began. However, logging into Ghost Star requires a lot of money. The rich can afford countless chances to fail and try again, while people like me, the poor, have to succeed in one go. At this moment, a scream interrupted my thoughts. I hid behind a tree and looked into the distance. To my surprise, the source of the scream was my good friend Yuan Zhu. He was surrounded by 3 venomous snakes. Though his posture was a bit effeminate, his powerful punches were keeping the snakes at bay for the moment. Seeing this, I made a quick decision and charged forward. With a single strike, I pinned one of the snakes to a tree trunk. Yuan Zhu was stunned. He couldn't understand why I had become so powerful so suddenly. Only I knew that after my attributes doubled, my abilities were now far beyond the reach of these level 1 monsters. Susie, keep distracting them. Got it. 2.5 minutes later, I finally sliced the remaining 2 venomous snakes in half. I earned 3 experience points for my efforts. Yuan Zhu, who had survived the ordeal, hugged me tightly. He asked me how I did it. I didn't hide anything. I told him the story of how I became a gambler. Yuan Zhu flexed his muscles and excitedly said, "Although I don't know what a gambler really is, but brother, I've really become a martial disciple." I was startled when I heard that. You see, normally the class you get is decided by the materials you bought before logging into Ghost Star, and Martial Disciple is one of the top 5 classes in St. Light Kingdom. The class change materials cost a whopping 50 million. You didn't borrow from GLD, did you? Yuan Zhu gave a mysterious smile. He said it's a long story and would explain later. After turning the venomous snakes into cards and storing them in my bag, the 2 of us continued heading towards St. Light City. But at that moment, a pink-haired girl stepped out from the bushes. Hello big brother, my name is Su Nuan Nuan. May I join your party? Both of us stiffened at once. A beautiful girl just shows up out of nowhere? She's either a spy or a thief. The girl quickly explained that her class was a healer. Not only could she heal, but she could also extract venom from the ST cards to boost weapon damage. She only asked that we don't leave her behind. Honestly, I was hesitant, but thinking about the dangers of the beginner trials, having a healer would add some extra security. Reluctantly, I agreed to let her join the team. Zhang Kai, is that really the only reason? I won't point it out though. Meanwhile, at the Blue Star base of the 18th Ghost Star portal, the bespectacled man was monitoring each explorer's status through the wristwatch's tracking data. He was carefully observing each adventurer's situation. Suddenly a pair of long legs stepped into the room. 4 eyes. How are the newbies doing? And what about my sister? How is she doing? The bespectacled man rubbed his chin, his expression serious. The situation is not looking good. Your sister Su Nuan Nuan seems to be teaming up with 2 strangers. Su Lanlan's face changed upon hearing this. Is she still teaming up with others because she's too timid? You know, in the beginner trials, the more people there are, the easier it is to attract monsters. That darn girl is just causing trouble. Sure enough, it didn't take long before the monitor displayed 2 face beasts appearing near Su Nuan Nuan. Su Lanlan was anxiously pacing. 1 face beast is enough to wipe out a rookie. 2, they're as good as dead. Although after death on Ghost Star, the physical body would automatically return to Blue Star. That intensely real experience of dying would undoubtedly leave an indelible psychological scar. Severe cases could even drive someone insane. Thinking of this, Su Lanlan immediately turned and ran towards the teleportation array to provide psychological counseling for her sister as soon as possible. But unexpectedly, the man with glasses behind her suddenly called out to her. Instructor Su, wait. Come over here and take a look at this situation. Meanwhile, on Ghost Star, the 3 were being chased by the face beasts, screaming for their mothers. But Yuan Zhu and Su Nuan Nuan's agility were too low. They couldn't escape the attack range of the face beasts. Seeing this, I decisively slammed on the brakes and turned around. I told them to run ahead while I stayed behind to block. Yuan Zhu instantly broke down in tears. Kai, what are you doing? We should leave together. No time for talking. At this rate, all 3 of us will die. With that, I leapt into the air holding a steel spike. Kai. With a whoosh, I stabbed the steel spike into the body of the face beast. But before I could feel triumphant, a massive hand suddenly struck toward me. It slammed me into the rock pile. Damn it, this guy's defense is too strong. With my attack power, I couldn't inflict any real damage on him. As the face beast lunged at me again, Yuan Zhu next to me was trembling all over. It turns out the reason he was able to class change into a warrior was thanks to the sponsorship of a mysterious person. Although it was known that Yuan Zhu was timid by nature, he was more prone to fear than ordinary people in the face of danger. The mysterious person noticed a rare quality in him. That is, whenever he saw someone in need of help, he would never turn his back. He could even draw out extraordinary potential from within himself. Yes, at this moment Yuan Zhu finally exploded with power. He turned into an afterimage and threw a fierce punch. The terrifying force made the 2 face beasts stagger backward. Kai, I may be timid, but I'm definitely not a coward. We are the best of brothers. If we're going, let's go together. If we die, then we die together. With a boom, Yuan Zhu's punch once again slammed the face beast into the ground. At this point, I was already dumbfounded. So this is the explosive power of a warrior? Although he still couldn't deal much damage to the face beast, he's still just a rookie. That moment, a warm current surged in my heart. It was Su Nuan Nuan casting her healing spell on me. What are you, a support class, doing here? Why aren't you running yet? Su Nuan Nuan yelled at me stubbornly. I won't leave. As a doctor, I will never abandon the injured. It turns out that Su Nuan Nuan's father had gone through such heartbreaking pain. Experiencing it once was enough for her. She swore never to go through that again. I will fight alongside you. Before long, I noticed that most of my injuries had already healed. With a faint smile, I stood up. Since neither of you fear death, let's take the plunge together. But the face beast's defense is truly astounding. Even with the 3 of us working together, we can't deal a fatal blow. Suddenly a thought struck me. This little girl is not just good at healing. With this in mind, I quickly took out the venomous snake ST from my backpack. Then I instructed Su Nuan Nuan to heal Yuan Zhu while coating my weapon with venom. Although she was a bit flustered at first, Su Nuan Nuan quickly found her rhythm. She steadied her mind and diligently completed the task I had given her. At this moment, a fierce fire ignited in all 3 of our hearts. Even if we faced an enemy stronger than us, we now had the courage to defeat them. Just then the venom infusion was complete. I raised my steel spike and charged toward the battlefield. Susie, help me hold one of the face beasts. Hearing this, Yuan Zhu let out a roar and began to gather strength. He then launched a fierce uppercut, knocking the face beast off balance. As long as the 3 of us form a team and cooperate, even the face beast known as the newbie killer, we can definitely fight it head on. The next second the steel spike pierced through the face beast's skull. The massive body of the face beast finally collapsed to the ground. At that moment the system sent a notification. Congratulations, you have slain the face beast. You have gained 2 experience points. The 3 of them showed excited expressions simultaneously. They really did it. Seeing their companion killed the other face beast, let out a low angry roar. But the 3 of them across from it were filled with confidence. With just a glance exchange, they tacitly charged toward the face beast. Meanwhile at the other side, the number 18 transport base had already erupted into chaos. What did you say? Both of the face beasts were killed? How did these 3 newbies manage to do that? The glasses-wearing man was also in disbelief. Su Nuan and Yuan Su definitely lacked the killing power. Could it be that it was that boy Zhang Kai? But why can't we see his profession info? The scene shifts to Ghost Star's side. After putting away the 2 face beasts straight, the 3 of them lay on the ground like children laughing loudly. Suddenly Su Nuan waved her little fist and said, "With our current strength and coordination, we should be able to easily reach the trial's final point, right?" But I slowly got up and said there's no need to rush. Because as I know, after the trial ends the rookie leaderboard will be announced based on points. If we can place in the top 3 on that list, we'll receive equipment rewards from the military. We still have plenty of time. So why not grind some more monsters and grab that reward? The man's first participation in the Dead Star Talent Awakening trial dropped the jaws of many military bigwigs. Not only did he successfully change to the hidden profession gambler, but he also killed all the high-level illegal immigrants from foreign countries. It turns out that right after defeating the face beast, I decided to take Yuan Su and Su Nuan to challenge the leaderboard. As long as we place in the top 3, we can receive equipment rewards from the military. So, I used Yuan Su as bait and threw him into the forest. "Hey Kai, I consider you my brother. And you actually used me as bait." I laughed and said, "Don't be afraid. Warrior's main trait is thick skin and tough flesh. Besides Nuan will always heal you. Even if you want to die it's hard." With the trio's perfect teamwork, the nearby poisonous snakes were quickly wiped out. After 1 day I successfully leveled up to level 2. With a total attribute increase of 56 points. Yuan Zu was left shocked with his mouth wide open. "What did you say?" Normally when a person levels up they only get about 10 attribute points. How did you get so many? Su Nuan felt like she couldn't handle it anymore. 56 points. Open black lens bracket defense, doesn't that make it stronger than the combined defense of 4 people? I quickly explained that this is just the profession trait of the gambler. If I face penalties it will also be twice as much as others. Just as Su Nuan's eyes turned into stars and she became a little fan. The previous AI system appeared again. It stated that I should have received a profession skill upon reaching level 2. But because I triggered the talent double, I would receive 2 skills instead. Ghost Eye Focus. Increase vision range and gaze tracking ability by 50%. When used mental power consumption increases by 100%. Ghost Hand Flying Card. When throwing items it adds a 20% penetration effect. If using card-like items, the effect increases to 200%. 2 ranged skills? Looks like the gambler is a ranged damage dealing class. However, just as the 3 were excited, as they prepared to hunt higher level monsters for more experience, a bad news suddenly came from Blue Star. Attention all new players in the newbie zone. The newbie trial is about to become dangerous. Please alert all departments immediately. Everyone was shocked and turned pale upon hearing this. Then an elderly man walked into the room. It was Wei Ying, the highest commander in Zhangjiang City. The authorities have detected that Country L has sent more stowaways to invade our newbie zone. We must quickly prepare to respond. Upon hearing this, Su Lanlin was frozen in disbelief. Stowaways were a unique profession of Country L. Under normal circumstances, high-level players cannot enter the newbie trial zone. But stowaways can bypass this rule due to their profession trait. Thus Country L often sends them to infiltrate other countries' newbie zones. They use extremely cruel methods to massacre newcomers, making the victims too scared to ever log into Ghost Star again. Thus they significantly reduce the number of new players from other countries. Su Lanlin slammed her fist on the table. Damn it, why is it happening at this time? Nuan's endurance is so poor. If she runs into these people the consequences will be unimaginable. Wei Ying slowly closed his eyes and replied, "For this newbie trial, we should prepare for a situation where no one survives." Meanwhile deep in the Ghost Star Forest, after activating * Ghost Eye Focus, my perception ability was greatly enhanced. With the * Ghost Hand Flying Card's * penetration effect, even prey hiding 300 meters away could be killed with a single strike from my thrown steel spike. Although my teammates had seen this many times before, they were still shocked by my methods. "You're a monster. This is insane." However, just as the 3 of them were about to continue, the nearby river suddenly began to churn. Then several figures leapt onto the shore laughing eerily. They surrounded the 3, trapping them in the center. Before I could question them about their intentions, The last figure, a man with a chicken-like haircut, emerged from the water. He smirked, an ominous grin on his face. Don't be scared, we just want to play a little game with you. At this moment Su Nuan suddenly realized something. You're stowaways from country L. Upon hearing this I was first shocked. And my expression grew more and more serious. According to the wristwatch's detection results, all of them were above level 3. The leader, the chicken-like head, was even at level 5. At the moment my total attributes could only rival a level 4 adventurer. To deal with that level 5 one, I'd need to. Before I could finish my thought I suddenly kicked the ground. I ordered Yuan Zhu and Su Nuan to team up and split off to escape. Chicken-like head sneered at the sight. Then he sent 2 level 3 stowaways to chase after me. The rest of the group would slowly torment Yuan Zhu and Nuan. In the depths of the forest, 2 figures relentlessly pursued me. One of them, a spiky-haired guy, exclaimed in surprise. This kid runs faster than the average newbie. But at our speed, we should catch up in about 2.5 minutes. But to their surprise the next second his eyes suddenly blurred. The 2 pursuers were startled to find that the figure they had been chasing had mysteriously disappeared. However, they didn't pay it too much attention. They thought I was just playing a cat and mouse game with them. At that moment, Steel Spike whistled through the air from a distance. The spiky-haired guy raised his long sword in front of him and sneered. A rookie's attack like this? I can block it with just one hand. However, as soon as he finished speaking, he was blasted away like a cannonball. He crashed through 8 trees before finally stopping. The spiky-haired guy was shocked and shouted towards the distance. Hey, what are you doing? How did you fly off? When the smoke cleared, he was stunned, his eyes wide open, because the spiky-haired guy was now nailed to a tree trunk dead. A cold snort came from behind. One strike and he's dead? What a weak stowaway. The spiky-haired guy hurriedly opened his wristwatch to check. He found that although I was only level 2, my total attributes were surprisingly 56 points. I only have 45 points at level 3. What the hell? But his answer came in the form of several wild boar spears. Sorry, I have the boar leg halo. I don't argue with people. Turns out that the reason I suggested splitting up to escape was because I gambled on the fact that the chicken head guy wouldn't chase me personally. With my current attributes comparable to a level 4 adventurer, the rest of them were no threat at all. At that moment the artificial intelligence brain reappeared. Congratulations on killing 2 level 3 adventurers. You can plunder 100 experience points from each of them. The enemy will lose double the experience. Do you choose to plunder? Of course plunder. I didn't expect such a feature on Ghost Star. This is way more satisfying than killing monsters. In the next moment, 3 bodies simultaneously transformed into energy and slowly dissipated, and I successfully leveled up to level 3. Seeing this I couldn't help but smile. Now my total attributes have reached 76 points level 3. To the smugglers, the hunt officially begins. Meanwhile on the other side, Su Nuan's clothes were already torn beyond recognition, and Yuan Zhu, in order to protect her, had been tortured beyond recognition. Looking at the cruel faces around them, Su Nuan bit her lip and asked, Suzy, do you think Kai will come back? Yuan Zhu's gaze was firm. He will, as long as he's alive he will. The chicken head guy showed a playful smile. You 2 idiots, stop dreaming. I'll make you experience a fate worse than death right now. However, just as he finished speaking, one of his subordinates suddenly had their body pierced by an unknown projectile. Yuan Zhu grinned. Little brat, I knew you wouldn't leave us behind. The chicken head guy looked around in terror. Who is it?